Happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome on St. Patrick's Day to another real estate update. I'm Mark Newstater with eXp Realty on March 17th. So lucky we got it right on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Well, and I really expected you to have a green beer in your hand right now.
Hey? I cannot comment on that. I cannot comment. All right. So we had another interesting week of stats. I've updated the look here, so hopefully it's a little bit easier for everyone to read and to see. And you okay, Jaden?
But yeah, it's just bizarre to me, and that looks great, the new look. But it's just this market is crazy to me to see us, peaking at that 642, and now we're back down to 420.
Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy. So let's go through the stats here. So 422 new listings compared to 516 the week before, 642 the week before that, and 517 sales. Again, really strong week for sales, really strong at 391 pending. Total of 908 for sales and pendings, and a 486 net difference. So I saw another realtor posting, oh, we might be getting a little bit of a break for buyers right now. And I'm like, I think there might be pockets where that might be happening. But on the detached side of things, clearly what we're seeing is that we're just rolling along. And I'm just curious. So while we're doing this, I'm just going to refresh my new listing stats here. Yeah, 422. So I pulled those about an hour ago. 422 new listings, 391, 517. So really, it's not a whole lot different, so it can change hour by hour, obviously. So we had a net difference of that plus 486, 183 price reductions, though. So there's kind of these two opposing things going on in the market where there's all these sales, all these pendings, not a lot of new listings, but the stuff that's there, we had even a higher percentage this week than last week of price reductions. So again, are people trying to take advantage of the market and listing maybe a little high? Could be, because 183 is a big bump up from even last week before, as a percentage of the total detached listings, which is 1496. So slight increase in detached listings. And then our total listings up over 3,000, really for the first time, I think, in 2022 at 3,019. So that kind of gives you the picture with those lovely new tables that I was able to import. And let's look at the last year this week. So we had a total of 627 sales. So catching up a little bit, 908. And again, that's with pendings for a change of more than 44%. New listings, oh, interesting, kind of getting a little closer now at 1,040 and 1,212 in the same week last year, of 16% difference. So really pretty close. And our active listings, that's where we're really still seeing a difference of 20% year over year. We're less this year than last year. Pendings, again, through the roof, double what we were, pretty much, actually more than double what we were last year. And our median price up 8%. So that's a little bit down from last week. But again, I don't really worry about the pricing until we get to the end of the month and we can get that benchmark pricing number in, which is always the best indicator of what prices are doing in the market. Or days on market, again, at 20. I think it was 21 last week. But again, they're really low. Depending on the community you're in, they might be slightly different where you are. And so that is the kind of the real estate side of things. And Jaden, speak a little bit to what's happening on mortgages and stuff going on around the world. And what is your take this week?
Rates are up. Done.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
That's my expert opinion this week.
Yeah.
Is that rates are up. No, honestly, the Bank of Canada is in a tough spot right now. And they're a lot of the Canadian economy is based on the housing market and how robust and well it's doing. And so you want to, have accessible and great interest rates for that. But to be honest, like, everybody's feeling it. We know where inflation has gone, and we know what the bank's response is going to have to be to that, and that's continued rise in the overnight rate for lending, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how we come out of kind of into this post-COVID world, and things that are happening in Europe and all those kinds of things. Because I think what we're seeing with some of these big companies that are making record profits is that they are increasing prices because of supply chain management and things like that, and so that all kind of they're using the past 2 years of maybe more difficult times during COVID to kind of increase prices in other areas, right? And so, we're around 6% for inflation right now. The bank would love to be closer to 2. There's one way to do that, and it's going to be increased interest rates. That being said, I'm still a huge proponent of variable, and the discounts are just still so great there. I think there's still really great opportunities to save money, and it just I think you're going to be seeing me basically throughout 2022 talking about either rising or stagnant rates. I wouldn't expect any kind of decreases this year.
Okay, interesting. Interesting, and still lots of great options, for you if you're looking to refinance, if you're looking at a new purchase. I mean, I think historically we're still well below where we would typically be. So, from a process perspective, I think it's obviously always best to get in touch with Jaden at the beginning of your process. Speak to me. We'll set you up on the right search for you. And we can certainly help in that regard as well. So I'm just going to peel back to the weekly stats here. We'll roll through those one more time if you're joining us late. So it's just the roller coaster of really the only roller coaster in Calgary right now is how many new listings are we getting every week on the detached side of things. Because if you look at sales and pendings over the last 5 weeks, we were outside of the 24th to the 3rd of March. We've been above 500 sales of detached listings every week. And we have been outside of that middle of February, we've been above 300 pendings. Really the only thing that's going to change is getting more new listings every week. We kind of hit that peak there a couple of weeks ago, and then we've kind of leveled back off. And we're still seeing some multiple offers. And, I was mentioning that other realtor said there may be a bit of a window here. And I think that might be happening depending on the house, depending on, what is it unique? Does it have some unique selling propositions like, walkout basement with a suite or things like that? Obviously, those types of homes are still going quickly and for, well over asking. But one of the tools I wanted to mention as we just showed this to you on the screen is we have the ability as realtors to pull things like sale to list price ratio. So as an example, let's say you want to buy in Airdrie, in Cooper's Crossing, and you're in the 500 to 550 price range. And I'm going to look at all the sales in that price range over the past, let's say, 2 weeks for reference. And we're going to be able to see, okay, if the list price was 500, did it sell for 550, 525 and a general percentage? So that's going to give you an idea. Okay, if my budget is 600, I can afford to look to 550 or 575 in Airdrie because we know that it's going to go for 2 to 3 to 4 or 5%, whatever the number is, above asking. And so that's how we help our buyers. And I know we promised we would talk about getting your offer accepted this week. I don't have a slide to talk about this, but one of the things we do, so we start off with Jaden getting us a pre-approval letter. So Jaden, maybe talk a little bit about that process and how easy or hard it might be to do.
Yeah, it's very easy. And there's a couple of different ways to do it. There's a few lenders that we work with that will actually underwrite all your documents up front and do a pre-approval. And we're happy to do that for the right client if that's what they're looking to do. I just have enough experience in the industry now to know, which borrowers are well pre-approved, and it's nice to not put in a pre-approval with the lender because it gives us options at the time of purchase, right?
Yes.
But what I like to do with my pre-approval letters, and what Mark and I always do, is that we make it specific to the property being purchased, right? So I don't like to send out a general pre-approval. I want that selling realtor to know, yes, I have reviewed not only the clients and their buying power, but I've reviewed your property. I have, looked at anything that might be a red flag for a lender. If it's a condo, I've phoned to the mortgage insurers to make sure that they're insuring those condos, and that these buyers are ready to buy your specific property.
Perfect. All right. So we start off with that. We're obviously going to have your offer in there. We're going to talk about, the price that you're okay paying for and the price you're okay losing it at. And I think, obviously when those two numbers meet is when you have your number. If you are going in with conditions right now, and we know that there are other offers, we have to assume there's going to be maybe one or two that are unconditional. You can't be the lowest price conditional offer, even with the most heartwarming personal letter that we have you write to the seller as well. That's just the reality of it. I hate to, be the bearer of bad news, but you're going to have to come in higher than that unconditional offer. As we even talked about last week, why would the seller accept a conditional offer lower than an unconditional offer, right? So that's really the process. We walk through that and we put our best foot forward. Am I going to win it every time? No, that's just not the stats, but it also depends on where your comfort level is with what price you want to pay for that home. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Please reach out to me if you have any questions on that process. On selling, I have a great new listing up in Livingston today at 84 House Road, and that's listed at $750. And that's a good example. I'm going to talk real quick about that. There would have been a case to be made that we could have listed a little bit higher, but you just never know right now. Is it going to be 30 showings and 10 offers? Is it going to be 5 showings and 1 offer? But we know that at $750, we could sell at $740, we could sell at $775, and the sellers know that. So that's kind of the approach right now. It's always an very educated guess. But I'll report back next week. I guess we'll see how that all went. So, Jaden, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of St. Patrick's Day.
To you as well. Fantastic accent to finish us up with there, right?
Oh, you're very welcome. All right, everyone, have a great day, and we will talk to you in 7. Thanks.